Oggi abbiamo il piacere di presentarvi un'azienda italiana leader nel campo dei montascale da più di 30 anni per migliorare la libertà di movimento di ognuno di noi.
Acciaio 18-10 nelle nocche di Giorgio Mastrota, cavalca un elefante, Lemi Flex di Giorgio Mastrota, armato di taghe in legno e tre punte schiavosciate, batteria di 12 pentole, un fondo fuso alto,
Hey there, human beings. Hi there once again. Sorry for the technical difficulties I was experiencing thanks to my extreme knowledge of very outdated technology. So here we are again talking about our hero, master, and immortal, I don't know, whatever, keeper of stainless steel. So the greatest of all, of everyone, Giorgio Mastrota. Here we started with this song that we dedicated to him 10 years ago. If you just joined the stream, if you missed the first streaming attempt, then you might have also missed the information that this song is already almost 10 years old, because December 2011. So that's really something you should keep in mind when talking about this guy. Again, you've seen in the video some stainless steel pots, and this is the main reason why we dedicated a song to Giorgio Mastrota. Now, who is Giorgio Mastrota? I think everyone knows that he's a very famous, at this time of the year and after all the things that we've done with him, you surely are aware of the fact that this is a very well-known Italian TV persona, so to say. He's a very known character. And his fame started in the 90s when he actually, I think he won the, back in the 90s, like 1990 or 1991, he won the award as most beautiful man in Italy or something like that. So then he started joining many programs in Italian TV. And so he was basically directing a lot of shows, and we remember this Ballando Sotto le Stelle, like in 1993 or something. I mean, that happened 25 years ago, if not more. But the thing that for which Giorgio Mastrota is mostly known in Italy for is the TV sales. It's this kind, is in Italian they're called televendite, so telesales or whatever you would want to call them in English. And this is an example of what he was doing, and so please see, yes, that's him.
La telefonata non è impegnativa, serve solo per notare la visita di un addetto Mondial Casa che verrà direttamente a casa vostra per mostrarvi tutto questo. Lì valuterete l'offerta, deciderete se acquistare o meno, ma lo farete perché ne vale assolutamente la pena.
Please listen to the, watch him, how epic.
Ne vale la pena, poi terrete tutto a casa vostra se deciderete di acquistare. Ma come si fa a non acquistare? 598.000 lire, IVA compresa, per tutte queste pentole in acciaio 1810 e...
Have you heard him? Pentole in acciaio 1810. So this is, he was selling pots of stainless steel, and you see the prices in liras. So it was $500,000, more than $500,000 liras back then. So it was something like 250 euros would be nowadays, maybe 300 or 400 including inflation. But And this is the kind of things that we grew up with in Italy. So this Giorgio Mastrota selling pots. There was no way you could avoid stainless steel pots. And the fact that the stainless steel seemed to be so important, like this 1810 stainless steel, it looks so important. I mean, I don't think anyone in Italy knows. Maybe 99% of Italians ignore exactly what this 1810 stands for, and what exactly is stainless steel. But this is something that everyone in my country knows thanks to him, and he brought this culture. I mean, we don't know the substance, but we know the words, and that's, as everyone knows, appearing and pretending to know is more important than actually being and knowing. So yeah, this is the kind of things. Let me play a little bit more of this because it's just so amazing. Selling the full set, batteria completa, it's like full set of pots. And the important thing is that you get 3 more things. You don't just get the pots. If you buy the pots, you get 3 more things. You get the stereo, you get the television, pretty outdated. And yeah. But you can recognize his voice, I guess. This is an iconic Italian voice. Everyone has heard this voice on these telesales, on this during these programs. So this is one of the things. This is one of the things that he was very famous for. But I would argue that the thing that really made him famous was getting married to one of the most beautiful actresses in Italy. She wasn't even Italian; she was Spanish. But let me share the photo with you. And so she's Natalia Estrada. Natalia Estrada. She's from Spain. I think she's from Asturias. And she got really famous in the 90s in Italy for acting in some movies like Il Ciclone. I can't remember just this name, but she got really famous. She was really beautiful, and she got really everyone was loving her. And then she got married to Giorgio Mastrota, as you can see in these pictures. How beautiful they were. Yeah. She still lives in Italy, by the way. I think she dated after Giorgio Mastrota, she dated the son of Berlusconi. And now she married someone else, but I'm not into her because we are into Mastrota, as you know that. We in honor of Steer are loyal. We stand on the side of Giorgio. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. I don't know if I have more pictures. Yeah, this is another iconic picture from Mastrota. I think it's pretty much the same things. You can see the pots here, television. And these things are important because in the song Giorgio Mastrota, then we talk about TV, color TV, we talk about pots. It's basically a list of items that have been sold by Giorgio Mastrota. So the first hit, this was basically first nano or viral hit because Giorgio Mastrota, the keeper of stainless steel, it's the first song that we ever released that crossed 1 million views and sort of really made us famous in Italy. And that's the point that if you look at our discography, up to that point, we were not so much into songs in Italian because if you read our first demo, Triumph of True Metal of Steel, and then the first album, Other Band Plain and Gay, and the second album, Into Gay Pride Right, they were mainly English lyrics. For the songs were mainly written in English. There were a couple of exceptions, but as I said, this was just an exception. As 85% of the songs were in English back then. But this is the first song that we completely wrote in Italian. It was not like an exception. We were really we wanted to release it that way, and we released it as a single. And actually, before releasing that in Italian, I remember I was pushing for an English version of the same song. So I was mostly convinced that this song should have been released in English first, not to lose our international audience. But then it turned out to be a great success in Italian. But this also meant that, if you notice, then it meant in a way that we sort of left the international stage for a few years, because after this one, then we started releasing all our Italian hit, so to say. So, Fedelissima Libertà, Il cacciatore della notte, I 400 calci, and so on and so forth, until the Stairway to Valhalla, because then A Night at the Opera was an album with mostly re-recorded songs. So again, this is like some of the background. So this is where Giorgio Mastrota comes from, and I really want to share with you something more about Mastrota. And let me remove this one, and let me share the audio with you, something that we can at least listen to. And then there's if you Google Mastrota Eminflex. So I just said there's two things that made him famous. First one was the selling pots, and second one, maybe it's ex equal. It's first. It's number one. It's the with the Natalia Estrada. But then it's also he got really famous for selling this brand of mattresses. And so let me see if I can share this. If I can share this with you. There you go. This is 2005. Let's watch some of this together.
Per tanti anni si è occupata del nostro riposo e adesso lo farà con un materasso eccezionale. Un materasso losangato, nuovo. Si chiama Infinity. Vedrete che meraviglia. È un materasso che ha una nuova concezione, nuova struttura, nuovi materiali per farci davvero riposare ancora meglio. E attenzione, ha un prezzo
this TV sales used to last, I don't know, this is 3 minutes, but it was even more than that. Maybe there was like an infomercial episode of some. It was on television. You can see here this Canale 5, is this 5th channel in Italy, is one of Berlusconi's main TV stations. Just to give you some background. Then I see here there is a comment asking how many people. I wonder how many people actually bought those pots. Actually, quite a lot. It was really popular. I mean, it wouldn't have been that popular for that long if they didn't sell that many pots. And I remember we actually talked. Giorgio told us some details about that, and then it's not selling those pots anymore. If you follow one of the last streaming we did with him, then it turns out he switched now. It's not really selling pots for Mondial Casa anymore. It's selling another brand. But those pots were really famous in the 90s, and not just because of the pots, because then we were getting a bicycle, you would get a TV, you would get lots of stuff. You just buy the pots and then you get everything for free, everything else. Same thing here with the mattresses. So you see here the mattress, and that's why if you look at the video of Giorgio Mastrota, the keeper of stainless steel, then you see that there's a lot of mattresses going around, and there's a reference to an elephant. There's an elephant in the video, and that's a reference to the logo. That's the symbol. It's the mascot of Eminflex. So Eminflex is the firma, how do you call it? It's like the company that sells these mattresses and produces them in Italy, in the northern part of Italy. I think they are from Veneto. We've seen the factories a couple of times driving to some concerts north, and so that's why, I mean, this is where the elephant comes from. It's the logo of this company, and Eminflex it's a really famous company. Actually, I think my brother has at his place. He has some Eminflex mattresses, and they really sold millions of mattresses. It's like if there were a hit list mattress in Italy, then it would be number one for mattress sale. So it's a very well known, it's a very well known company. I think they're good. I mean, I can't remember sleeping on a Eminflex mattress because I spent most of the last 11 years abroad, and there's no Eminflex there. So I can't remember maybe when I was younger. I'm not sure I had an Eminflex mattress. I think I had an IKEA one, to be honest. But yeah, they say they're good, and then there's all sorts of different kinds of. I mean, Giorgio Mastrota is talking about these things for hours, so he's going into the details of the kind of springs that are within them, and the kind of wool that you can cover them with, and so on and so forth. So it's really great, really great. Anyway, so that's again, this is where Giorgio comes from, and again, I want to stress how you know, the first clip I've shown you was from the 90s, I guess. Then I can show you something actually from the 90s when he got famous first. For example, let me see if there is something from one of these first. Ok, Giorgio Mastrota ballando sotto le stelle. I can see. I think. Okay, let me check this one. Okay, so this is one again. This is a TV program, was aired during the 90s, and then you can see another also here. You can see a very young Giorgio Mastrota. Let me. Sorry, I got very. And this is Giorgio Mastrota, the one in the middle. Just listen to his voice when he was so young. This is during the 90s. Our hero and master.
Io uscirei con entrambi perché questi sono dei meno piacevoli, però la canzone è diventata una schifezza, cioè io te lo devo dire, perché la canzone è così bella.
That's an interesting thing. Now he's saying that the song they were singing sucked, and this is pretty much what he told us all along about our songs, though he likes them, but he says okay still. The other interesting thing you can see here, there's the Rete 4 logo. And this is, if you listen to the song of, again, to the Giorgio Mastrota, Keeper of the Stainless Steel song, then we sing at some point Templare di Rete 4. So he's Templar of network station. It's, again, one of Berlusconi's televisions. And again, it was one of the most watched TV channel in the 90s. So again, this is just to show you the deep roots of our hero, our master of stainless steel, Giorgio Mastrota. This is taken from the 90s. Yes, very, as Laura Locchi says, yes, 90s TV is very good memories. It's very funny memories, especially because of Mastrota. Anyway, so let me move on with the story. So in 2012, we released the video of Giorgio Mastrota, Keeper of Stainless Steel, which you have seen over and over again. I've shown a bit of it at the beginning of this streaming. So let me move forward because I want to show you something that I'm really, one of the things I'm most proud of. One of the things we did with Nanowar, and I want to show you something from this video. And so this is called Nanowar of Steel Mastrota Vox Populi. Let me see if it. Okay, thank you StreamYard for placing the ads of StreamYard on a StreamYard stream. I'm gonna stop streaming on StreamYard if I see this again. Anyway.
Oh che gioia, oh che sollasso, mi son fatto il materasso.
You can see here some very young Nanowar of Steel. What's going on here? At some point after releasing the song, we decided to go around Rome dressed like, I don't know, salesmen, and saying everyone that we are like special agents for Giorgio Mastrota, and we are doing some polls, like asking people what do they think about Giorgio Mastrota. So this is, I'm so proud of the thing. It's so stupid and senseless. So we stopped young people. This is Mr. Buffo. We're talking about, and we are asking about Eminflex and Giorgio Mastrota, pretending to work for them. And we're asking, what do you think about them? What's your opinion on Eminflex? And people like the elephant, yeah. They said Giorgio Mastrota. Yeah, I was asking what was the thing that came to their mind when they were talking about Eminflex. So anyway, we had so much fun shooting this video. And we are basically, at this point of the video, we are telling people that we are shooting a new ad for Mondial Casa for Eminflex with Giorgio Mastrota. And they had to sing with us and they had to repeat our refrain. Ok, gioia che sollasso, mi son fatto il materasso. It's like, oh, how happy I am! I just bought myself a mattress. It just sounds nicer in Italian. Oh che gioia, oh che sollasso, mi sono fatto il materasso. So let me show a little bit more.
Oh che gioia, oh che sollasso, mi son fatto il materasso. No, ti lo oh che gioia, oh che sollasso, mi son fatto il materasso. Oh che gioia, oh che sollasso, mi son fatto il materasso.
Oh, and this is actually some of the rarest Nanowar CDs ever, because this is the single of Nanowar of Steel, Giorgio Mastrota, and this is a real single. I mean, we basically Xerox the cover, and we copied with the CDR, the CD, and we were giving it to the guys and told them that this was it's going to be the new soundtrack of Giorgio Mastrota's new Flex campaign. So anyway, I think we had enough of this video. Let me show you something more from Mastrota. If you didn't have enough, let me check if there is something more interesting. No, maybe okay. We can move on with discussing how the story went on. So this was 2012, and after 2012, then we, as I mentioned before, with Nanowar of Steel, we moved on, releasing more songs in Italian. Then we had Feudalissimo Libertà. That was also one of the hits, so to say, one of the viral hits that we released early in the early 2010s. And then Il Cacciatore della Notte, the song about Barbagianni, that you all know, I hope. And so we always had in the background the idea that we should, at some point, we have to get in touch with Giorgio Mastrota. So we really need to get in touch with him somehow. We need to do something together. And we always thought it was something difficult, because as you've seen, like the guys, he's very famous in Italy. Everyone is a household name because he's on television 24/7. Is still nowadays selling any kinds of stuff. You can really see it. I don't know. I think it's more it's focused on everything. He's selling. Actually, I just bought one of the air conditioners that he was advertising, for example. He's advertising any kind of stuff, so it's always on television. And so we always thought, oh no, this guy's making shitloads of money. He's very famous. There's no chance that some idiots from and they like it. So something happened then a few years later, because we, as I said, we always tried to get in touch with it. We didn't really know how to. There's no contact. It didn't have a Facebook page. He was using his Instagram account, but we discovered it later. I mean, we couldn't get in touch with him on social media. But at some point, something happened, and I think it was like in March 2018 or late 2017, for sure. And the thing that happens is this one: that at some point we got contacted by Italian Rai 2, national television, so it's state television, second channel, that hosted Mastrota. They were planning to host Mastrota and ask us for permission to broadcast the video. So we needed to sign some papers that we were fine copyright-wise with releasing the video on television. So we wouldn't ask for money about that. And the thing that happened at that point, okay, let me see now. I will share this one. Yes. The thing that happened at that point is that we said, yes, of course, you can broadcast the video, no copyright issue. We are the sole holders of the copyrights, but we want to come there and get to meet him. And they said, okay, why not? They were recording the video in Milan, and so that's how Abdul, that lives in Milan, is the only one of Nanowar of Steel that's living in Milan. Now, the other four of us live in Rome. I think back then I was either in Israel or in Germany. Anyway, so let me show you this clip. This is actually the first time we actually knew that Mastrota knew about us, and the first time that we knew that he liked us, he liked the video. So let me just play this video for a while.
Tu hai questi quasi 60 anni, lo dico per Flo, così sembra più vicino quel momento, e sei un bel ragazzo ancora, non so come fai.
She's telling me, oh, you're 60 years old, but you're still a nice guy, still a nice boy. Anyway.
È un ossimoro proprio.
Lui è diventato anche un supereroe.
And so she's saying that he became a superhero
Hanno fatto un fumetto, ma
Questa è una cosa,
because we published a comic book, as you can see here, where Giorgio Mastrota is a superhero.
Ma sei tu, ma mi racconti questa storia? Cioè tu sei un fumetto?
C'è un gruppo di rock demenziale, credo che si dica così, che hanno fatto una canzone, Giorgio Mastrota, c'è una roba stranissima.
Ma perché?
So he's saying that we're very weird parody rock. Actually, in Italian you say dementia, but yeah, the English translation would say parody. And so yes, he's 60 years old. 60 years old. And he's still pretty young. And so he's saying that he really liked the fact that we made a comic book about him,
Chi possa comprarlo?
and he's not sure about people that might buy it, or
Comprate il mio fumetto! Sono le ultime occasioni!
again. So he's trying. Okay, I can try to sell this on TV.
Nano War of Steel ti ha dedicato una canzone. Noi abbiamo il video, cioè grazie a detto fatto mi sa che qualcosa la vedi.
Fanno anche i concerti con la gente con Giorgio Mastrota.
Saying there's people singing this song. He was surprised that people actually sing this song.
Ho il piacere di presentarvi un'azienda italiana leader nel campo dei motoscale da più di 30 anni per migliorare la libertà di movimento di ognuno di noi.
Acciaio 18-10 nelle nocche di Giorgio Mastrota. Cavalca un elefante, levi flex di Giorgio Mastrota. Armato di tacche in legno e tra punte schiavosciate, batteria di 12 pentole, un punto fuso alto,
E poi io sono molto orgoglioso.
He says he's really proud.
Di avere che poi è un sacco di visualizzazioni. Penso la
He's
gente
proud because there's a lot of
io ho visto
views.
delle immagini anche del concerto.
And he says
c'è la
I've
gente
seen
sotto Giorgio Mastrota.
so images of the video with hundreds of people singing Giorgio Mastrota, trota. So that was really, yeah.
Io sono contento.
And he says he's happy about that. That's I don't know. It was one of the happiest moments of our lives, I guess, because it was really a dream come true. It's again, now we sort of take it for granted in the sense that we met him. Let me show you another nice episode. It was after meeting him. Then after Abdul met him in Milan.
Acquistami a yogurt.
Then we were okay. So I have a question. How many years ago was this interview? So this interview was, I think, 2018, early 2018. So it's 3 years ago. It's not that old. Just like Mastrota, it's not old at all. So let me show you this one. This is another nice clip from about Mastrota. So this is Radio 105. So it's Radio 105, one of the most famous radio stations in Italy. And there you go.
che cosa? Acciaio 18-10 nelle nocche di Giorgio Mastrota. Cavalca un elefante, Lemin flex di Giorgio Mastrota. Armato di doghe in legno e tra punte scamoscia fuso alto un centimetro.
So this is the first time Mastrota actually sings his song. And this is before actually meeting with the whole band.
Porto il materasso, il garzone di Giorgio Mastrota, sciamano dello sciamano, Giorgio Mastro, no maga mago. Entrare di Rete 4, tu proteggi la città con forni TV, color e prodotti di qualità. Giorgio Mastro. L'ho persa! Aspetta! Giorgio Mastro! Cavalier custode dell'acciaio Inox. Giorgio Mastro! Guerriero nordico di pura lana Merinos. Ha una pentola a pressione e la paghi incomoderate. Cosa stai aspettando? Prendi la cornetta, mondial casa.
So this was not a perfect execution, to be honest. But it's very, very, very funny. It's amazing. Yes, it was amazing to realize that he liked our song. So okay. This is the turning point. We found contact with Giorgio. We found out that he liked our music, he liked our song, and he liked the comic book, he liked everything. So it was really easygoing, really open, and something you would not expect, like from such a celebrity. But yeah, that was the case. And so this is the thing that, again, another one of the the best moments I think we had in our lives, and I'm not exaggerating, including Mastrota himself. And I'm talking about this. This is the first time we jumped on stage. So with Giorgio Mastrota himself, and it's the only time so far. I mean, I would bet it will happen again, because now we're in good relations, and it wouldn't be an issue to get him again on stage, to be honest. But this is the first time it happened, and again, it was well within, I think it was the end of 2018, right after the release of Stairway to Valhalla. Or it was just the week of the release. We were playing at the Lucca Comics Festival. It's one of the largest festivals in Italy. It's a comics festival, so there's a lot of comics, sci-fi, video games, all this kind of nerdy stuff going around. And there's thousands of people there. There's like 7,000 people audience, I guess. It's at least 5,000 anyways, between 5,000 and 10,000. I didn't really count each one. So the nice thing about this concert is that we didn't tell anyone that Giorgio Mastrota would show up. We didn't tell it anyone. And no one was suspecting anything. And so, as usual, we got to the last song of our concert, and it usually is Giorgio Mastrota, which is our #1 hit in Italy still nowadays. And let me just show you what happened. So we were playing. Oh, just to give you some more background, we were playing the song "Feudalismo e Libertà" just before this one. And Feudalismo e Libertà, it's feudalism and freedom. It's a song about the emperor, and it advocates for the return of the emperor of a Roman Empire, Holy Roman Empire, and so on and so forth. And so usually there are people dressed up in the medieval fashion, and there was a guy dressed in he had a helmet, very elegant guy with a helmet. And that's the way we Feudalismo e Libertà, so the actual page, not us, but the page that it's running, this fake political party, shows the emperor like some kind of a modern man with a helmet. And so we had this modern man with a helmet, and that was Giorgio Mastrota in disguise, but no one knew. So again, let me show you this video. It's one of the nicest moments of our career. You can see the guy with the helmet. Let me just pause for a second. You can see the guy with the helmet. No one knows who he really is. No one is suspecting anything. Or maybe someone is suspecting, but no one really knows. And that was him. He was the craziest screamer I've ever heard in my life. So. And he was really enjoying himself so much. We couldn't believe it. He was having such a nice time with us. And you can see it from the way he was dancing and so let me pause for a second and fast forward to the middle, to the central part. So this is up. Again, I'm explaining this to the non-Italian audience because we don't usually play this song live abroad, especially for this part. So we have a central part where we are trying to make sales. We are trying to emulate Mr. Mastrota while trying to sell something. And so we just say the names of thousands of products. And so this was supposed to be a sort of a challenge on stage about who's selling the best product. So this, yeah, 051 it's a number of some you have to call to get stuff. This is some.
Siamo tutti fusi come in Nanowar! Allora, adesso Giorgio vi farà la televendita definitiva, qualcosa che vi resterà nel cuore per tutta la vita. Fai sentire. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 cuscini! Le trapunte! La prima per la primavera, la seconda per l'estate, poi per l'autunno, per l'inverno, ma che cazzo!
So yeah, I think we had enough, but this is to show you the first time we shared the stage with Giorgio Mastrota. I think it was it was the first time I've seen him, because I remember Abdul already met Giorgio a couple of times in Milan, and I didn't see him yet. So I think I was the last one, because then he went to Rome and met the other band members. Anyway, so that was also for me was the first night to meet him in person. I was so amazed. And I got a few pots there, and I got them signed by Giorgio Mastrota. And so this is sort of the high. I mean, this is the peak now. I mean, this turning point. We met Mastrota 2018, or we keep in touch. Then we have plans. We have plans for many other things apart from what we already done. But I cannot tell you more than what I've shown you so far. But let me tell you a little bit more of the background that led us to the Polenta d'Aragna Rock, which is it's the latest song that we released from our latest album, Italian folk metal. So again, let me just let me load this video. Okay. Oh, and by the way, think this is something nice. I can show. We can watch it for us. So let me. Also an epic moment. I mean, we got him on this video. Now let me first show you this one. Tell you what happened. Someone just comment on this one. You might have seen this already, but it's just fun. So let's watch it again.
Eccoci fra i meravigliosi monti della Valtellina per proporvi il nuovo prodotto dei Nanowar, la polenta taragna. Voi sapete che per il piatto tradizionale valtellino minuti, anzi un'ora e mezza, ma l'occasione è un prodotto eccezionale, istantaneo. 5 minuti, acqua bollente, la mette piano piano, acqua con un po' di simo d'olio e poi aggiungete l'olio abbondante, soprattutto cantare insieme ai Nanowar la polenta taragna rock, la polenta taragna rock, la dei paioli della Valtellina, la polenta taragna rock.
So, tengo que aprender a cocinar esto. Yes, so I will tell you some other spoiler. Tomorrow I'm going to shoot a video on how to properly cook polenta taragna rock, and then we'll release it as soon as possible, because we realized people in Italy might know how to cook this, but we are selling this product, and now we need to at least show. I will film the video and then it will be released as soon as possible. But let me tell you a few things about the background of the polenta taragna rock. So how did it end up there? How did he end up in this polenta taragna rock video? So if you remember, last year we had this social songwriting challenge where we are writing songs with our fans. And so digitally polling the title. So we are making polls on Facebook and having the fans vote on the title they preferred. And then this way we wrote an album which is called The Turmentone. It was released in January 2016. And those songs were written on the topics that were voted by the fans. So we said, okay, let's do this again. And let also the fans propose some titles. And we had this voting taking place last year in March in our Nano Warriors of Acciaio Inox private Facebook group. And so there, the most voted title was the Polenta Taragna Rock. And Polenta Taragna Rock is a wordplay between the word Taragna and Taragna Rock. So Polenta Taragna is a kind of polenta, and it's different from the others. Now I learned it because I didn't know what Polenta Taragna was, to be honest, until the song was proposed. I mean, I was in Italy, and people from my region don't really eat it. And when we eat polenta, it's just polenta. There's no like subdivision. There's no like subclass. So back to the Polenta Taragna Rock. So the Polenta Taragna Rock is a little bit different because you can see there are some black spots. So it means there's some mix of different corn and different flowers. Basically, there's corn and there's what else? I don't know. There's some black spots. Bottom line, don't ask me about the details. I'm sorry. And the thing is that you cook this with a lot of cheese and a lot of butter, and then you add, usually when you cook polenta, then you have also some meat on a side. Anyway, so this was the most voted title, Polenta Taragna Rock, Ragnarok like Ragnarok. So that's this wordplay. And it came out nice because then Valtellina also naturally can be turned into Valhaltellina. And so there's lots of nice wordplays you can make about this region. So the Polenta Taragna is typical of Valtellina, Bergamo, and Brescia region. So it's northern part of Italy. It's Lombardy. It was the boundaries, what was it called? Le frontiere, the border with Switzerland. So something just to show. Let me see. Did in the we make reference to them in the song. So is that it wasn't a good idea. Bottom line, so Valtellina, Valhalltellina, and we can make a lot of jokes about Vikings and this region. So it's Ragnarok, the Ragnarok, Valtellina, Valhalltellina, Garda Lake. It can be the Midgarda Lake. So there it becomes actually a dragon because, yeah, Lago Drago. It's a similar word. So Lago di Como becomes Drago di Como, and then there's the Midgarda Lake. There's a lot of things, references that you can make to geographical places, heavy metal spirit of dragons and Vikings. Anyway, bottom line is that we wrote this song April last year, on a live streaming with our fans. And I remember lots of people proposing lots of wonderful ideas and wonderful wordplays, references. And so that's how the how the lyrics were crafted. What happened then? At some point, we realized that Giorgio Mastrota just moved, I think shortly before the lockdown, he moved to Valtellina. I mean, we knew that he was living in Milan, but Valtellina is still like 3 hours drive. Actually, Bormio is like 2.5 hours drive away from Milan. So it's not so close. And he moved there, and he's selling stuff from Valtellina. So he has his own website, he has his own web shop, but it's also a physical shop, which is called Made in Valtellina. Let me see if I can show it to you. So he has his own website selling typical produce from Valtellina. How cool is that? And in the meanwhile, we are writing a song about Valtellina and polenta. So that was really cool. And as soon as we found out, we called Giorgio Mastrota, and so this is the website. You can see there's all the typical produce. So Slinzega is amazing. It's so, we got to say something from him. But anyway, so you can see there's the polenta Ragnarok on the website. It's available. There's lots of things. There's lots of, all kind of cheese, pizzoccheri, all kinds of pasta. There's this champagne, spumante. So now that's, again, it's how cool is that being on Giorgio Mastrota website. You can see our pictures. I didn't know he put our pictures on his website. So how cool is that? Anyway, this is now. So last year we realized that Giorgio Mastrota is hosting. He's working with this. He has this website. He's selling stuff from Valtellina. We say, okay, let's do something together. We really need to make this thing happen. We need, you need to join our song, sing there. Yes, now I'm doing the infomercial for him. Yes, I'm paying the favor back. But and apart from that, Slinzega is one of the most amazing things I've ever eaten in my life. It's just, I don't know, just eat it. It's amazing. It's amazing. But by the way, back to Giorgio Mastrota. So we decided we should totally do polenta. So this is our own brand of polenta. There's, bands do all this kind of beer, wine, or I don't know, coffee. But we made polenta with Giorgio Mastrota. And I think it's something that makes us really, 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 really proud. There's a story behind. What I'm especially happy about is that there's a story behind the song and behind the product. So, of course, like €5 maybe for this polenta is expensive, to be honest. But we invested so much money in everything that, if we can sort of at least go even with part of the expense, we'd be happy. But let's not make this a financial story. Let's make this a story about how nice is this to produce stuff with Mastrota. How nice is it to sell polenta with the #1 salesman in Italy. It's just simply amazing. It's simply amazing. Anyway, so Mastrota agrees to join the video. We tell him about the project of making actual polenta. He's fine with that. So we make plans to print the polenta, to produce the polenta. He's in contact with people who are actually producing it, of course, in the valley. And so that's how it came out. He recorded the song last year. I think it was 1 year ago. Then we got in contact for the actual recording dates. It was a mess because of COVID restriction and regulations, as you might guess. It was not an easy task to get 10 people from Rome to Bormio, which is the small village where he lives. It's not actually so small, but it's a mountain village. It's a mountain town. It's a few thousand people, not more than that. And that's it. So we agreed. We shot the video in May. By the end of May, we spent a few days there with him. It was absolutely amazing. We had lunch together, dinner together. We were talking all the time. It's like, I don't know, like spending so much time with our childhood hero. Well, not childhood, because he became our hero after releasing after the song had success, to be honest. Like we were singing about him for so many years without actually knowing him, and so it was like a dream. It was a living dream. It was a living legend among us. And so that's it. I think that's most of the story behind the special relationship between us and Giorgio Mastrota. I hope that people that didn't know this story now can understand why is that so important for Menello Steel. Why do we find these things so funny? I mean, just imagine the #1 TV salesman joining forces with the most stupid metal band. It's like, how unlikely is that? Joining forces like with the celebrity from television was famous for dating beautiful actresses, to join forces with a bunch of nerds from Rome singing about stupid songs. So this is again something that's very hard to realize, but here we are with our polenta. And again, I hope I can show you the video of how to properly cook polenta as soon as possible. And I guess that's it. I mean, I don't know if you have more questions, I'd be really happy to answer. Otherwise, I think I can just put on the video of Polenta da Ragnarok and leave you on the notes of the latest songs that we had with our hero, Giorgio Mastrota. So again, just let me know if you have questions or something. In the meanwhile, I'll try to share the screen and the music. And so let me wait a second. Let me prepare the video again. So I think we are ready for the end of the show, end of the GattoCast. On the notes of polenta. Okay, sorry. For Custode dell'Acciaio Inox was the instrument reference Warriors of the World. Yeah, sort of. It's like universal heavy metal kind of introduction. So yeah, but it is. I don't remember how. I mean, yeah, it was, of course. I don't actually remember the writing process of the song, to be honest, but it must have been, like, even unconsciously. So let me show you the video full screen. Let me thank you again before leaving the broadcast. And that's it. See you in the future for the next GattoCast episode.
Dal cuore di Bormio, la piazza del Querce, benvenuti in un altro appuntamento con Valtellinia. Oggi parleremo dei prodotti tipici di questa magnifica terra. In Valtellina ci sono gli scianti, la bresaola, i pizzoccheri, c'è la polenta. La polenta taragna, tutti la vogliono mangiare, gustare, assaporare, tutti la vogliono cantare. Polenta taragna!
Ad alta densità, tagliere di fumante rigida, forgiata dal messolo di Thor, si accampa nelle arterie del tuo cuore, dalle fauci del vulcano di Valle, ti avvolge con il suo burroso scialle, i suoi lapidi di colesterolo, combatta nel sul di oro, in un brisket di mai inframato. Isolante a bassa trasmittanza, protegge da DS gravidanza, ribolle nelle marmitte dei giganti, valchiria delle pietanze antiossidanti. Impugnerò il paiono magico, impasterò il torato amido nel formai debut. La polenta d'aragnaro, la polenta d'aragnaro, orgoglio dei maioli della Valtellina, la polenta d'aragnaro. Trasmutato dall'alchimia di Sondrio, seduce ribosome mitocondrio, che sorbe il suo glucosio aerobico nel corso di un processo anaerobico. Il suo muso può causare la pellagra, ma il consumo ha l'effetto del Viagra. La comando di un superuomo, tra le gambe per un drago di como, un animante di scimo infuso. La polenta d'aragnaro, la polenta d'aragnaro, orgoglio dei maioli della Valtellina, la polenta d'aragnaro. Quante cose al mondo tu puoi fare, saccheggiare, intonacare, banchettare, ma se dall'impeto famelico ti lasci sopraffare,
Presidente? Presidente!
il tuo stomaco Ginunga Gap canterà per scongiurare il tuo lockdown gastrointestinale dal lago del Midgard occidentale. Beh, una pozione tonica dal colore paglierino,
Cedrata tassoni, l'elisir di Odino.
Su di lei ci metto la provola, su di lei non so è una favola. La polenta d'aragnaro, la polenta d'aragnaro, orgoglio dei maioli della Valtellina, la polenta d'aragnaro, la polenta d'aragnaro, la polenta d'aragnaro, orgoglio dei maioli della Valtellina, la polenta d'aragnaro, la polenta d'aragnaro.
Dai, adesso andiamo a mangiarla però.
Sì, dai,
Prepara Gaia, dai, vieni.
Era comprato il sale! Dai, che lui è un mago in cucina!
Sì, però questo è solo